In nature, you can find incredible stories and some sad stories. What happens when a bird refuses to socialize with its species and falls in love with a statue? Today, we're going to take a look at the story of Nigel, the world's loneliest bird. The gannets are a species of birds quite common in the Atlantic. They tend to stay in constant travel so they can find food and procreate. They also tend to be quite distrustful. This makes it difficult for them to stay in one place for too long. Manna Island off the coast of Wellington was the perfect place for these birds to meet. It was far from humans, it was a pleasant habitat, and it was a natural reserve. But for some reason, these birds did not visit the island. Maybe it did not inspire confidence. So the people on the island put up statues of gannets so that the birds, when flying overhead, would believe it was safe, and so the island could be populated with these creatures. The days passed and no birds appeared, until one day it finally happened. People saw a lonely male gannet near a statue, and they nicknamed him Nigel. This was the first bird of its kind on the island in a very long time. Unfortunately, the days and weeks continued to pass, and no other bird arrived on the island. But something strange did happen. Again, these birds are distrustful by nature and they tend to migrate from place to place. However, Nigel stayed close to the statue. He could be seen preening and nesting next to the statue. The behavior of the bird indicated that it had fallen in love, and thus Nigel did not leave the island. Months began to pass, and no other birds had arrived. It was then that they gave Nigel the title of the world's loneliest bird. Many people traveled to the location to see this curious gannet, who stayed near the statue, thinking that it was really a female. Nigel spent years with the statue, even building a nest of seaweed for him and who he considered to be his mate. Over time, other birds arrived at the island. However, Nigel was not interested in socializing with them. He always stayed next to his statue. And so it was until one day in January, his final days had arrived. After spending years next to his beloved statue, Nigel passed away. The world's loneliest bird was found next to the statue who which he shared his life with. Since then, poems and songs have been written in honor of this gannet, of his impossible love and how he was faithful until the end. Days later, the arrival of more gannets like Nigel have been seen on the island. Apparently, the statues finally did the trick. And today, many people still travel to this island to pay homage to this curiously romantic bird.